going to be getting into this set right now, and I'm excited to see where it goes because, like you said, Robin has a lot of stuff that's either true or pseudo-true, even on his character as small as Squirtle. So once that damage starts to rack up, it is going to be very, very difficult to escape. But Louir does certainly have the pedigree to be able to make this set happen, that's for sure.
Absolutely. One thing I do want to see from Louir through the set is having discipline to stay in Squirtle, even if the percent technically dictate I should get off. Having that discipline to know that you can continue combos and put Robin in a bad situation. Levin Sword already almost gone.
Yeah, now Levin Sword is gone, now stuck down onto the Bronze Sword, so iGreg is going to be trying to find some space in between himself and Louir to just wait for those resources to regenerate, but there's the Levin Sword back. He doesn't have a chance to use it quite yet, though, as he gets caught by a little bit of a combo. He needs to get the L-Wind back to stage, but does get back up on, and now it's his time to shine.
Yeah, and one thing that we're seeing that iGreg is doing very well is baiting Louir to jump in and then punishing with a large swinging hitbox, maybe the back air or the neutral air of Robin's Levin Sword to try and get some punishment. What we have seen is Louir is almost treating this like a Samus matchup in a simple way with the Thunderbook and trying to say, okay, that's a charge shot. I can't mess around with you at all.
Absolutely, but it's almost perfectly even, 0.6% separating the two of them until that moment there. But still very, very close between the two of them. Looking for the jab reset off of the down tilt, can't quite find it. This is becoming very, very difficult to call because neither one of them has really found that big inroads in neutral to be able to get any sort of expected bread and butter conversions. It's just been little stray hits so far until that moment when Greg finds that critical Levin hitbox. Armors through the second one, though. That's interesting.
Okay, so now going for the Thoron to try and bait an option and get a quick call out there. Here comes the Arc Fire trapping. Good use of the Ivy up B to push away and reset the game. Here comes Charizard, but Levin Sword going to close that out.
Yeah, down he goes. Like you said, that Charizard, despite having a little bit of weight behind him, that weight can be a little bit of a detriment in terms of running away from the big bad Levin Sword.
Absolutely, and right now, he goes back to Charizard. Quick confirm, so now immediately back to Squirtle. This is the point that I tried to make earlier last, when the discipline for Louir to stay on Squirtle, knowing this is my strong Pokemon and I got to ride with it, I really appreciate this dedication to his game plan.
Yeah, and Squirtle's has been paying off for the most part throughout this, but this could be unfortunate. Gets caught by the Arc Fire and then the L Thunder, and this could be a dead Squirtle. No, great switch up to Ivysaur to be able to avoid the Levin aerial.
Good use of the cancel to try and get over that Arc Fire, but right now, the last thing you want to do is try and get a laggy hitbox on iGreg.
I really like the Wave Bounce Nosferatu, though, because it's just a little bit extra percent, and it's some time that Louir can't act, so it's a little bit more time for the Levin Sword to recharge, and then he makes great use of the Levin Sword out of it to get the kill.
Yeah, and one thing that we have seen iGreg doing very well is kind of dictating the tempo of the game by also managing his resources extremely well. When he loses Thunder, fine, we're going to go to the next stage and I'm going to change to an Arc Fire zoning rotation.
Right, and then that's also one of the biggest things about that you can notice in iGreg's gameplay is that you know he's controlling tempo, you know he's dictating the pace of this match, because the longer it goes on, the more of a lead he builds up. That's usually like the signal that a player is really good at controlling tempo is the start of the match looks very, very even, but the longer it progresses, the more they run away with it. Yeah. And iGreg is doing exactly that as he brings Louir up to kill percent now, but gets caught by the up smash and loses his life first.
Going to Squirtle at this percentage, I think staying on Zard might have been the move despite Robin having the chance to take him out, but Louir knows the
bye-bye. Arc Fire into L Thunder is going to be the decider of game number 1. Asking if he wants to run it back to PS2, but Louir definitely saying, no, I want to counterpick.
Yeah, I think that would be a huge boon for Louir. We saw that the Squirtle was working when he was able to crowd iGreg and almost get him to swing out of that shield work and say, look, here's an option, let me present it to you, get down, and then move in with Squirtle. One thing that we could definitely see Louir maybe improve, I think the Ivysaur was working at one point. I need to see more Ivysaur. That Nair is a catch-all.
Right, and the thing is that because Robin is so slow in the air, once resources start to be burned more and more, specifically the double jump starts to be burned more and more, it's very, very difficult for iGreg to find his footing back on the stage if it's an Ivysaur on the other side of it trying to juggle him, as opposed to being able to just go around some of Squirtle's smaller hitboxes. We are going to be getting into game number 2 now. Still going to be starting off with the Squirtle, if I'm not mistaken, but I would like to see, like you mentioned, them make a little bit more use of specifically the Ivysaur.
Yeah, one thing I'm a little bit nervous about is Yoshi's. I feel like Robin has numerous shenanigans with that arc fire to get you killed at 30%, but Louir telling me, don't pay attention to that. Look at my little Squirtle.
The other thing that he has to be very, very careful of is checkmate. It's not as much of a thing as it was in Smash 4, but the down throw up air is alive and well for Robin mains in this game. And if you're not careful with how you DI out of Robin's down throw, specifically if they buffer the throw, you could find yourself dying at sub 100%. But speaking of dying at sub 100%, he is going to be 100 after the hit, but before that interaction started, he was certainly much below that, and now he's in the blast zone.
But what a clean stock from Louir. Using the Ivysaur, like we mentioned in the pregame, this Ivysaur has been controlling this game state and dominating the stage with this nair, his safer aerials like his forward air, and then just throwing the Razor Leaf to say, you have to jump, do it.
I mean, the thing is that Ivysaur, one of the few characters that Louir has at his disposal that has bigger disjoints than Robin does, and making really good use of those bigger disjoints where exactly what they're supposed to be done for, to stuff out options, to stuff out jumps in the air, and to just completely decimate stocks.
Yeah, and to your point, now Robin is actually, I think we can see iGreg gaining a little confidence, trying to find a grab, look for the checkmate maybe. That's unfortunate for Louir. You had such a head of steam, but 68% on extra credit, that's pretty good.
But it might be made up for very, very quickly. The double fair from iGreg is going to be 27, and then the up air is 43. This has almost been completely, the distance has been almost completely closed in just a few short seconds. So Louir needs to be very, very careful about how he plays these next few interactions as Levensword is back online.
Yeah, iGreg doing a very good job trying to get back to center stage and control something. But Louir immediately trying to close out the game right now. Gets back to stage pretty safely using the L-Wind. And now Louir back on the ledge.
Gets the throw with the Thunderbook just to get him a little bit more space. Now trying to throw out the Arc Fire, and Louir gets popped up before he gets the opportunity to go for the second up air that I think he wanted to follow up for. iGreg looking for, I believe that was the Nosferatu startup too, just to try and get a little bit of space, but it's the up smash out of shield. The trigger has been pulled, and iGreg goes into the top blast zone. We might be looking at a game 3 if he plays his cards right.
Yeah, and we see Louir sticking to that discipline we noticed on game 1, going back to Squirtle saying, I'm going to rack up this percent, and this might be it.
It very well could be it. It almost is. Isn't quite able to find it, but this could be the stock here too. No, I love the use of the Pokemon Switch almost as a pseudo roll to get out of the Arc Fire once it's on him. So iGreg maybe needs to be a little bit more proactive with his punishes instead of waiting so that he can get use out of those Arc Fires, but the Flare Blitz back to stage goes unpunished. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that we've seen, and the hallmark of a great Pokemon trainer, to your point, is using that switch as a secondary defensive option. What I'm very excited to see from Louir is how they are utilizing it to try and get iGreg to... Oh, the Flare Blitz connects!
Not quite enough to kill just yet, but it is going to put iGreg very, very close on the verge of death. And a second Flare Blitz, of course, is going to do it. Listen, if at first you don't succeed, just try again, because it'll probably work out as we move to a scoreline of 1-1.
Yeah, and this is on a stage that we mentioned very early on. Robin has a lot of goofy confirms that really could have came into play and ended Louir pretty quickly. He showed a commanding lead and used a great amount of Ivysaur to deter him from playing out this game the way he wanted to overall.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, in that situation, that it didn't really matter that Robin has those goofy confirms on Yoshi's story because he didn't get the opportunity to go for any of them. iGreg was just almost completely smothered, I would say, both in neutral and advantage. Didn't really have the opportunity to go for any of those sorts of things. So really, really well played from Louir overall, just to, like I said, completely stuff him out, to completely smother him.
And one thing that we did take into account is I like how Louir was able to shift the game plan and basically use Charizard as an ace when it came to closing out stocks. We see that he loves that up smash. It's a great... Obviously, we have the color counter pick coming out now from iGreg going to a different Robin color entirely. So...
Don't disrespect color counter picks, man. I'm telling you, they work sometimes.
60% of the time, it works every time. But here we go. We have Squirtle back in the driver's seat trying to establish that combo game, but on PS2 where iGreg had such a dominating performance.
I don't know, that was a really interesting combo follow-up though from Louir. I'm liking what I'm seeing, especially making use of the falling down, or the rising down air rather, two different directions there, not meshing well in my vocabulary. The rising down air from him to extend that combo just a little bit more, and now he's got iGreg upwards of 69%. Could very well be looking at a Squirtle Dare quite soon to take out a stock if he's not careful.
One thing that I do like to see from Louir as we watch this set is he's using these forward airs to try and poke and almost bait an option to get that shield to come up. So it's like, great, now I grab you, here comes the Whirlpool combo. But iGreg commanding that center stage, daring Louir to come to him and all.
Oh, now gets caught by the down tilt. No follow-up, though. Actually, another down tilt, and that is going to be the jab reset. Gets a little bit greedy on it, though. Knows that the F smash in that situation wouldn't have actually killed, so tries to go for a little bit more of an extension. I respect the choice a lot. iGreg, though, not one to fall for it twice, is going to get out of it before Disaster strikes. But speaking of things that strike, that back air.
Yeah, Charizard's back air, definitely something not to be trifled with at all. Charizard has no shortage of kill moves, and again, the discipline from Louir, immediately going back to Squirtle. Yeah, that is electricity. You don't want to mess around with that little Squirtle.
Yeah, there is one hell of a linger on that down smash coming out from Robin when they have Levin Sword at their disposal. But a big combo coming out from Louir, trying to take iGreg for all he's worth, and the reversal comes through. The down air finds its mark, and all of a sudden we're even again.
Yeah, and now we see that I feel like iGreg has almost changed his style from a less cagey defensive style to, I gotta run at you. I have a sword, you do not. What are you going to do about it?
I think that's what really, the change that really needed to be made, because like I mentioned during the last game, Ivysaur has bigger disjoints than Robin does, unlike most characters. So you can't really rely on being able to outspace them because, well, things like that are going to happen. Down air into the up air, and at only 40.8%, this game is looking all Louir all the way. iGreg's going to need to pull off one hell of a comeback to make this.
Look, there's no shortage of a chance that iGreg cannot pull this out, but good lord, the combo game and the discipline from Louir has been out of this world. Right now, I would like to see him maybe start using these items against iGreg a little bit more to try and mess up his tempo and plan. But right now, that Squirtle is sitting in the driver's seat, like we mentioned in the pregame.
Yeah, but gets caught by the rising forward air to take stage control away. That's something that iGreg has also been struggling with throughout this match, is being able to get stage control away from Louir because of things exactly like this. And oh no, this could be it. No, good high recovery from iGreg to be able to escape the down air of Doom.
Like the idea that Louir had trying to cover the neutral air dodge through with that up B from Ivysaur. Charizard coming out trying to end the stock early, and iGreg is not going to let that happen.
No, absolutely not. But the Thoron is going to come through. That decides the stock, and 91%. That's not all that much in the grand scheme of things. This is way more doable for iGreg than it looked a moment ago.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, the Squirtle seems to be the common threat now.
Oh no, gets caught by the Fair Train into 37% worth of damage. iGreg making this look really, really good. 49% now and still building. Okay. The Levin Sword is off the board for now though.
Yeah, but here comes that threat. Ivysaur has been an absolute menace throughout the course of this set, walling out with those back airs and trying to catch him with the divine whip. Up air from Robin. Ooh.
Hang on, here we go, 83%. This is starting to look like kill confirmed territory. The Charizard's going to come out, so iGreg needs to be careful of those up smashes out of shield. Going to be trying to stay much more airborne, but the Thoron comes at a mistimed moment, and he gets punished with a fair for his troubles.
The adaptability of both of these players is so phenomenal to watch. Both of them were so disciplined in their game plan, adapting to the push and pull strategies, noticing from iGreg, you know what, if we're going to see more Ivysaur, fine, I will alter my style to try and play around your projectile-based system. If we're going to see Charizard when you're trying to go for the kill, we can easily go around that, have fun with the Levin